All right, so for the Pillar Project, Esme and I decided to pick the big idea of animals and decided to pick the smaller idea of animal testing and the impacts it has on our environment, our economy, and our society as a whole.
This is by Esme and
Kira.
what is animal testing? Animal testing refers to the process by which a live animal, including but not limited to dogs, cats, fish, mice, rats, farm animals, non human primates, and guinea pigs, undergoes procedures for the purpose of researching biology, disease, medical products, and the safety of cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, household cleaners, and much more.
These procedures include physical restraint, deprivation of food and or water, deliberate infliction of wounds, burns, and or pain to study the reaction, electric shock, force feeding, and even experimenting in ways to kill the animal. These tests cause physical and psychological harm to the animal, often resulting in its death at the end of the study, either by the experiment itself or because the animal is deemed useless after it. These tests are inhumane and are horrible.
And these pictures just show of it. We've got a dog over here. Apparently, beagles are the most tested on type of dog, breed of dog. We've got a monkey over here. We've got some rabbits and some mice. And these are just some
Horrific.
just I can't even believe it. So the economic impacts of animal testing is that animal testing is far less cost efficient than alternative methods and a waste of taxpayers' money.
So, the National Institute of Health, the NIH, uses about $20 billion annually to fund animal testing in the US. So, these horrific tests come directly from taxpayers' dollars.
In 2019, the University of Washington was found killing thousands of monkeys in experiments funded by the NIH that cost over $13 million. These experiments violated federal animal welfare laws.
According to PETA, 92% of drugs that pass animal tests fail in human trials because we are biologically not the same. What works on animals does not work on us. These tests are a waste of money and an enormous waste of time.
Pointless NIH funded testing included a $9.6 million test just to see if LSD caused an increase in eye blinks when injected into a rabbit's brain. Similarly, a $7.6 million test to determine whether or not psychedelics caused mice's heads to twitch.
All right, so some of the cultural impacts of animal testing, it really comes down to ethics and beliefs. So, a really common belief that defenders of animal testing argue is that animal testing is in fact ethical because humans and animals are not morally equivalent, and they like to argue that benefits of animal testings for humans outweigh the damage done to animals. This is incredibly false.
Yeah, and the reality is, several international neuroscientists in 2012 declared that non human animals have a conscience, which pain is a conscious experience, therefore proving that animals can feel pain just like we can.
So, with an ever progressing society, human rights have really helped the idea of animal rights and speciesism to gain attraction. Speciesism is the idea that humans consider themselves superior to non human animals, leading to the exploitation of animals. And this is a really good connection to the book Ishmael that we read in English class, where Ishmael really points out what's wrong with humans and what's wrong with our behavior because we really do think that we are superior to animals, which we're not.
We aren't. How does religion play a role? Well, many religions believe different things, but in Hinduism, the idea that animals have a soul is apparent. In the doctrine of ahimsa, it is taught that humans should treat animals well. Furthermore, they do not believe in animal testing, as opposed to Christians believe, due to biblical teachings, that God put animals on the earth to be used for food, clothing, and etc. This just shows how different some cultures are.
All right, so environmental impacts of animal testing. So, a lesser known downside of animal testing is the detrimental impacts it has on the environment. It's terrible for the environment.
Annually, over 100 million animals are killed and disposed of due to animal testing, contributing to pollution, carbon dioxide and nitrogen release, air pollution, and a decrease in biodiversity. Animal research labs use 10 times the amount of energy as an office of the same size, furthering carbon emission and greenhouse gases.
As well as harming ecosystems. So while we are killing animals, we're also killing the planet.
And killing ourselves, since carbon dioxide and nitrogen make it hard to breathe.
All right, so what can we do? We can do so much, but it really does come down to we as individuals need to take it to the government so they can really put in place action. And the Animal Welfare Act is an act that is in place to protect animals from things such as animal testing. However, it does not apply to rats, mice, fish, and birds, which account for 95% of the animals used in research. This act needs to be modified to be applicable to all animals and needs to further protect these animals from harmful testing because as of now, this act is doing virtually nothing.
The scientific community needs to make the switch to cheaper, more accurate alternatives such as in vitro models and voluntary human studies. In vitro and voluntary studies would be cheaper than animal testing. We would use the money they use now on animal testing towards in vitro, etc. In addition, taxpayers' money would be relocated to a more productive cause. Society as a whole needs to respect non-human animals and give them the equal rights and care as beloved household pets or even humans.
Even signing petitions and contacting local representatives can get more attention and awareness to the horrid injustice that is animal testing. And we can also just make an impact by thinking consciously about the products that we buy and whether or not they are cruelty-free.
Here's our works cited. I hope you research more about the products you use and sign petitions to further this movement against animal testing. Thank you.
And really think about whether your household cleaners or your makeup products are worth an entire dog's life. When you support and defend animal testing, you're supporting the killing and harming of precious animals like these that deserve kindness, love, and fair treatment.
Please make sure to buy products that are cruelty-free in order to avoid harming any animals that look like these.
Visit PETA.org to find resources, ways to help, and ways that you can stay cruelty-free.